This is Boca Rio Golf Course Superintendent Bob Rehnquist with a final update on the Boca Rio Golf Course renovation project. After opening the back 9 holes of the golf course last week, we were excited to open the front 9 holes of the golf course this week. It was wonderful to see many of you back on the golf course playing golf again this week. Although the golf course renovation phase of the project is complete, we still have work to do during the next few months to assure that the turf and playing surfaces on the golf course mature properly and provide the best possible aesthetic and playing conditions. As a whole, greens, tees, fairways, roughs, and sand bunkers are in very good condition. There are a few small areas that still need additional time for new turf to heal in completely or to achieve adequate density or surface smoothness to provide the desired playing and aesthetic conditions. If normal weather conditions persist through the winter, golf course conditions will steadily improve and should be excellent in all areas of the golf course by early this spring. Let me show you some of the areas that we will continue to address during the next few weeks and months. Over the past few weeks, we have been sodding a few areas along cart paths and some shade-affected areas in roughs. We should finish the last of this work this coming week. Some examples of this sod work can be seen along the cart paths at holes number 5, number 6, and in the right rough at number 7, where a couple of trees were removed after being blown down by Hurricane Irma. The forward tee at number 2 and the very back tee at number 16 were also sodded 3 weeks ago. The Tiff Grand sprigs on these shade-affected teeing areas were not developing quickly enough to provide the desired playing conditions during this season. The tees we sodded are coming along quite well and should be ready for play in the next few weeks. We have a few areas on some higher mounds with exposed shell and small coral rocks where sprigs have established, but growth of the new turf is slow due to poor soil conditions. Examples of this can be seen on one mound left of number 16 green and on one mound in the right rough at number 1. We saw the same phenomenon on the first few holes that were planted, and the mounds in these areas are completely turf covered now. We will continue to add some soil to cover the rock and shell and fertilize these areas heavily to assure we get quality turf in these areas. In another few weeks, turf coverage should be full on these mounds. Lastly, we are adding sand and soil along areas where sod edges abut areas that were sprigged. Our contractor placed sand and soil along these sod-sprigged interfaces once before construction was finished, and our Boca Rio maintenance crew added sand in these areas a second time in September and October after 7 inches of rain dropped by Hurricane Irma washed away sand and soil in some of these areas. Some of these areas were eroded again when we received another 7 inches of rain from Tropical Storm Philippe a few weeks ago. Hopefully, our normally dry weather in December and January will allow the soil and sand to stay in place until dense cover is achieved in all of these areas. Examples of this repair work can be seen at the 9th tee and around the practice pitching green. We will continue to restrict practicing on the range tee to the new mat area for about another 10 days or so. By that time, new turf should be dense enough to allow practice shots from the grass portion of the practice tee. This video will be the last video sent to you regarding the renovation of the golf course. We will use video presentations occasionally in the future to address other concerns regarding care of the golf course, changes in cart restrictions as the new turf matures, and other subjects relevant to items of interest on the golf course. Thank you for the many positive comments we have received regarding the golf course renovation video presentations. We will continue to email the weekly green report to you to keep you informed regarding ongoing golf course maintenance practices and their impact on golf course playing conditions.